Still too dark. Hi everyone, Sailor Moon here. Serena here, and Sarah Uranus Amara here. And today, for the last time, we are going to talk about a setting on Google Android, which is most likely on Apple iOS, called TalkBack. Now, TalkBack is a tool that was made for blind folks or folks that can't see very well, so they could work Google Android or they could work Apple iOS. Now, the downside to TalkBack is that if you put it on, you got to press down hard. You got to press down for some time to either go into some tool, go into some setting. So let's say you want to shut down or start over the Y speaker. Let's say you want to go in, make a call, or do a tide or an inner wire. Well, you got to press down for a long time just to get into all that shit. Let's say there's some setting you want to get into or some website you want to look at when you're on the interweb, whatever. You got to press down for a long time. You got to press down for a long time just to get out of TalkBack. And you can get it in TalkBack by mistake. Well, here's a mistake you can make to get into it if you don't want to get into it. So one day, we were wanting to play around with the loudness, make the Y speaker a little more louder before we uploaded the film that we made. Well, unknown to us, somehow shifting up the loudness somehow made Google Android think that we want to go on a TalkBack setting. And TalkBack just makes your Y speaker more hard to work than would have been if you didn't have it on. So it not only handicaps folks that can see, but it also handicaps those who cannot see. So let's say there is some blind man or woman who goes into TalkBack, and they're like, oh, cool. Now my Y speaker is going to tell me all the tools and all the settings that I'm tapping or I'm clicking into or I'm working. And then they learn that they just can't do one click and they're on Euro. Or they just can't do one click and they're in their calls, to make a call or send a tide or send an inner wire or whatever. Or, I don't know, one click, to shut down the reckoner, shut down the Y speaker, start over again, go in updates, whatever. And then they go, why is it only telling me what all the tools do and all the settings do? Why is it not doing what I'm telling it to do? Well, I don't know. Because someone at Google wasn't thinking when they made the tool. They just made it where, hey, they'll tell blind folks what they're clicking on, but it won't let them do anything. And then they learn, oh, I got to press down for a long time just to go into all the tools and all the settings. Now, that's handicapping someone who's already handicapped. Now, I don't care. I mean, that's sad. So would say you're already handicapped, you can't see. Well, you're double handicapped now because now you can't work your Y speaker. Now, would say you're sighted and you can see, and you go into TalkBack by mistake, or maybe you want to go into TalkBack. Well, then you learn that you got to press down for a long time to go into everything that one or two clicks should get you into. So yeah, I think Talk setting is really bad. I think TalkBack was just set up badly, Sailor Moon, Serena. I think that someone at Google just set that up badly. I think TalkBack was only to talk back to you and tell you what you were clicking into or what you were doing. I think that there was a bug in the TalkBack tool, unknown to Google and unknown to whoever sends the updates for Google Android, that was a bug. And even if it was a bug, if it's not a bug, that's a bad setup right there. And I think that Apple also has the same thing. It might be called something else on Apple iOS, but it's mostly the same tool. It probably most likely does the same thing. Tells you every single tool and setting you're clicking on, but you got to double click and double tap for a long time to get it to do things. Because if you just click on it, it'll just tell you what everything does. But it will not go into it unless you press down for a long time. So why handicap, or why have a setting that is to help blind folks hear what they're doing with their wise speaker? That's good. But why handicap it where now they got to press down hard, press down for some time to do everything? And it's a bad setup. Handicap those who can't see. Handicap those who go into talk back by mistake, or just handicap anyone that goes into talk back. Either way, I think it's a bad setting. And someone is going to tell me, oh, I just don't know how to work a Google Android or Apple iOS. That's not true. I know how to work Google Android. I don't know. I never had Apple iOS, but I believe that wasn't the answer. And if someone at Google and Apple, if they're watching this, TalkBack should only tell you what you're doing, what you're clicking into, what you're tapping on. It should not handicap the Y speaker to the grounds where you gotta press down for a long time to get Google Android or Apple iOS to do something that a double tap or a double click would do without being in talkback. So that's my last time talking about this poorly set up setting. And it is a poorly made tool. And if that is how it works, then I don't really see how anyone, blind or not, would want to work that tool, knowing that now you're going to have to press down for a long time to get your Y speaker to do anything you want it to do. So, just keep away from talkback. It's a bad setting. It handicaps your Y speaker, and it just makes your Y speaker mostly unworkable for anyone. No need if they're blind or not. So there you go. Tell me what you think about this, and give this film a like, share it and playlist it, and we'll see you later.